welcome to Booze Cruise Reviews, where we review movies and beer. I'm Michael.
I'm Sarah.
Alright, Sarah, today we're going to talk about Batman v Superman. What are we going to drink today?
Well, today we actually have two beers, one for each of our protagonists.
Alright.
So, of course, we have Superman and Batman. Well, today, we'll talk about Superman first.
Superman first.
Alright, I gotta love the guy from Kansas. So, Superman, we actually have the Helios Farmhouse Ale from Victory Brewing.
Yes.
Victory Brewing is out of Downingtown, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And so why don't we go ahead and we'll try that beer.
Alright.
Of course, this is a Farmhouse Ale. It's a Saison beer. This one, the ABV is 7.5%. A little stronger than most of your beers.
I have some glasses poured out here.
They look really nice. It's nice
Yes.
gold amber color ale.
So this is a farmhouse ale for our farm boy
Farmhouse
Clark Kent.
Exactly, from our farm boy from Kansas. So, smells really nice. Very
Fruity. Real fruity, yes.
A little bit of apple, a little bit of apricot.
Definitely.
Definitely, yep. All right, let's take a sip.
Definitely you get the fermented fruit notes. In a good way, though. Nothing
Definitely.
bad. Really good way. Almost like you said, apricot jam, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit of jam. To me, it's kind of mellow.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely tell it's a little stronger. It's not your
You
sessionable
get
kind of beer.
the alcohol flavor at the end,
A little
right?
bit, but it's not, once again, not in a bad way. But it's kind of mellow. To me, it feels a little old-fashioned, you know, a little, reminds me of my grandmother's kitchen growing up a little bit, some of the smells. She used to make, like, jams and apple jams and stuff like that, so it kind of reminds me of that. But I really like it.
I do
I
like
think it was a good choice for Superman.
Yeah, that farm style. Definitely you get some of the yeasty flavors in there.
A little bit, yeah.
It reminds you back home on Kansas. All right. What would you rate this out of 10?
Out of 10, I actually really like this. I'm going to give it a 9.
9.
It's pretty good. There's always a little room for improvement. Really hard for me to give a 10, but it's almost there. It's pretty good. I like it.
I really like it. The fruitiness is nice. The alcohol flavor, I never really mind. You know, it lets you know it's a strong beer. There is, in the finish, a little bit of a bitterness that I don't quite enjoy. But overall, I would say it's a really nice beer. I would definitely drink it again. I'm going to give it a good 8 out of 10. Yeah, 8 out of 10. It's really good.
This is a good brewing company. I like a lot of their beers, so I'm really, personally, I'm impressed with this.
So give it a try if you see it.
Yeah.
It is
Helios Farmhouse Ale from Victory Brewing Company.
Yes. All right, let's talk about the movie while we finish this glass.
All right.
First of all, I really liked the movie. I've been looking forward to it for a while.
Yeah.
It did leave me a little underwhelmed. It wasn't a perfect movie, but overall, I liked it. What did you think? What did you like? What did you not like?
Well, personally for me, and don't worry, we don't give out spoilers on the show.
No spoilers.
I did like the fact that they expected a lot of the audience, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be quite a few people, more of your casual moviegoers, who are probably kind of still waiting for a little bit of that extra explanation. This is technically a sort of a quasi-sequel to Man of Steel, so if there are things maybe you didn't catch in Man of Steel, or you don't read the comics, there could be some things you totally miss in the movie. And maybe it takes either a couple times to watch, or, you know, it just may not end up coming up for you to, to know. But for me, I liked it. You know, I'm glad it wasn't like a rehashing of our old Batman movies where it's always the exact same origin story every time.
Yes.
Personally, I love Ben Affleck's Batman. I grew up watching Batman. I mean, I'm talking, like, not just the animated series, but, I mean, the old Adam West as well. So I'm a big fan. I actually think he's one of my favorite Batman.
Well, you know, this Ben Affleck Batman is nowhere close to Adam West. I think this is the most violent Batman we've ever seen. I mean,
I will give you that.
Unlike any other Batman.
Definitely a lot of Frank Miller influence there.
Yeah, and a lot of people worried about Ben Affleck. Probably one of the best Batmans we've had. He was actually a shining point in the movie. He was one of the best parts. Like you said, I really liked it. It expected a lot of the audience, which I didn't mind because, you know, I read some of the comics. I knew the characters. I've seen
You knew the
Man of
story,
Steel.
basically.
But even people sitting next to us in the theater, I don't even know if they've seen Man of Steel or even knew it was kind of a sequel to it. So I think maybe the general movie-going audience might find it a little difficult.
Yeah, maybe a little, yeah.
Yeah, and that was one of the weak points of the movie, was it expected so much of the audience that the storytelling was a little weak. And if you knew the characters, you knew the comics, I didn't mind because I felt like my brain filled in the gaps. But for your average movie-going audience, maybe they would feel a little disjointed, a little all over the place.
And I will give the movie that too. There were a couple times where some of the scenes didn't like mesh together very well. Even a few times I had to try and play catch up while I'm watching the film. Once again, there's a scene, I can't mention the scene, but there is a scene there that it wasn't until after the scene kind of took place and finally finished that I'm like, alright, now it makes a little sense. But it just kind of came out of nowhere, and I'm watching it, I'm like, wait, we just totally shifted gears here, and there's no preparation for this.
There were scenes in it that reminded me of Avengers Age of Ultron, when Thor, and if you haven't seen Avengers, you should go see it. It's been out for a year now. But where Thor goes to his little pool in the cave, and it was just this scene that was shoehorned in to basically advertise an upcoming movie. There's scenes like that didn't feel quite in the right place. However, they were really cool scenes.
They were the visual effects. I mean,
beautifully shot movie.
Yeah, the whole movie as a visual storytelling was really good. I mean, the effects are great. I think the interaction between the bending, the CGI and practical effects was great. I actually really liked the interaction between all the actors as well. Seeing Superman and Batman together, I mean, that was awesome. I was actually really impressed. For the most part, like I said, it was a really good movie. There's only a couple of nitpicking things I had about it.
All right, why don't we try our next beer, and we will tell you about our top things we liked in the movie, and maybe a few things we thought it didn't really succeed in.
All right, so this next one is called Outer Darkness. It is a Russian Imperial Stout, so it's got a little extra punch to it.
And this is for Batman. Of
course, gotta have the Dark Knight, the dark beer. This is from Squatter's Brewing Company out of Salt Lake City, Utah.
As you can see, it's got a nice label. Looks a little angry, kind of like our Batman.
Exactly, kind of got the glowing eyes like the Bat at night. Not white, though.
So, as you can see, this is a very
dark. I mean, it's got a beautiful kind of coffee-colored head.
Yeah, it looks like a cup of coffee almost.
It looks like a cup of coffee, like a nice, strong cup of coffee. There's actually... You actually smell a little coffee in the aroma.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
Like a coffee chocolate bread almost. You get the
yeasty... Like a rye bread. I get a little bit of like a rye. Smoky, too.
Very smoky, like a campfire. It literally tastes like a campfire with chocolate, some wood, coffee, definitely.
I get a lot of dark chocolate, I feel like you're like 85-90% like I do. That's kind of what I'm getting to this. Very bitter, but... And I think it's probably the alcohol. This is a 10.5 ABV.
I was just going to say, it is like a kick in the teeth at the end with the alcohol flavor.
So for me, it actually gives me a little bit of like a bourbon barrel-aged flavor. Like a little bit of that sweetness with the bitterness at the end. This
is something at the end of the meal you drink, you just sip on and drink it slow. But wow, that alcohol at the end, though. Definitely you feel it.
This is not a sessionable beer in any measure. This is your dessert at the end of the night. Or if you're, pondering how to stop the bad guys in Gotham, you might have this at the end of the day.
Yeah, this is what Bruce Wayne rewards himself with after...
I'm thinking so. This is kind of nice up there. Or maybe, if he's not around, Alfred's having a couple of these.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about the movie. What worked for you in the movie?
For me, actually, I like the fact of the way the movie just automatically started, where it picked up. It placed you in the middle of a kind of a world that wasn't any need for world building. You stepped in, it's already a world that's been in development. I mean, you get to meet Batman. And,
why you have to see Man of Steel, right?
You have to see Man of Steel for this one. But what I like is, you see the trailers. This Batman, this isn't the young Christian Bale Batman. This guy, he's got gray in his hair. He's been working the streets for a long time.
20 years, I think.
I think it's 20 years in the movie. And so for him, you're getting a lot of that gritty, lived-in feel. I really liked that because there wasn't a lot of, new, shiny stuff going on. This is an ongoing battle. This is something he's been fighting for 20 years.
Yeah. And for me, Batman really worked. He was gritty. He was violent. I mean, this is someone who's been doing it for 20 years, and it seems like, criminals just keep popping up, and he's getting more and more frustrated, and he's at the point where he is violent. This is the most brutal Batman we've ever seen, and it really worked.
Actually, I had a question. What do you think about Superman in this one?
Superman, definitely. I really liked Superman. It showed a little bit of an evolution from Man of Steel, where he just became Superman. I mean, that was his first day, right, in that movie. But this is Superman. He's been saving people, but, the world reaction, some people love him. He's a savior, and other people fear him. They do not support him, and they don't want him there. So I thought that was a really interesting take.
I actually liked his personal evolution. I mean, you've got this guy, Man of Steel, kind of coming in, going, this is how my dad raised me. This is who I think I'm supposed to be. And you've got this guy kind of coming into his own a little bit in this film, which I kind of like because, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt like he was a teenager who just kind of came up into the world, just turned 18, living on his own, and he's like, well, maybe things aren't exactly the way I was raised, but I still want to hold on to these values. I liked that. I actually also liked the Lois Lane character.
Yeah, she was really good.
She definitely, her character matured, I think, since Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked the way they played on her. She's a little, I think just the character itself is a little bit of damsel in distress, but she doesn't take it as it's expected. She kind of is like, you know what, sometimes maybe you coming after me is not the best idea. So I kind of liked that too. She holds him accountable for things. I like that.
And again, the visuals, the fighting, and especially the score of this movie, all high points, all really good. Yeah. Really good standout.
I like Hans Zimmer. I'm a fan of Hans Zimmer, and I love the little notes you can always pick up when you're listening to his films. He always uses a few similar motifs in all of his films. It's kind of like, hi, I'm Hans Zimmer, stamps it on there. But they worked really well in this film.
What didn't work for you?
Some of the acting, actually, regarding a certain Justice League member. In most cases, I think she did a good job visually, and I'm thinking that might be more the script.
You're talking about Gal Gadot.
Yeah. I enjoyed most of the acting that she had. Few of the lines, and I don't think it's really her so much, but I think some of the lines they gave her were a little stilted. I think they were using her more for a visual character than they were for anything else, and I think they could have given her
in her defense, if you've seen any of her other movies she's been in, this is the best acting she's ever done. It's just not that good, but it is the best she's ever done. Improvement.
And I'm going to say
high hopes for the next Wonder Woman movie.
I think they could have given her better lines. I'm looking forward to seeing the Wonder Woman movie. I'm hoping that maybe she gets to blossom into this character.
Mm-hmm. One thing that specifically didn't work for me is there were scenes in this movie that are just to advertise the Justice League movie, and they felt a little shoehorned in, little forced.
Although, for them being shoehorned in, now it's got me really excited to see those films when they come out. I mean, now that I'm like, I got to see what the characters are going to be looking like, really revs me up for it because I can't wait to see their standalone films.
All right, I think that's about it for us. What would you rate this movie out of 10?
Out of 10, I'd give it a good 7.5. I would have given it an 8, but there are a couple things that maybe not my favorite. Spoilers, I can't talk about it, but otherwise 7.5, yeah. I
really liked this movie. It was a strong movie. Was it perfect? No, but I was entertained the whole time, and I left the theater happy. You said 7.5. I'm gonna give it an 8. I think an 8 is good. Yeah. What do you think? Let us know. Comment below. And if you like this video, like it and subscribe. Thank you very much.
And of course, you can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram.
It's down below.
Yeah, we're going to put the little links down below there. And I think, yeah. So we look forward. Hopefully see you in the next week.
Yeah, and try those beers.
Yeah, and once again, this is the Outer Darkness Russian Imperial Stout from Squatters Brewing Company.
Yes. Any beers you think we should try, let us know. Give us suggestions. All right. Till next time.
Goodbye.